on alongside Malzahar, Karma, and Fiora. Fnatic now on the red side, adapting their strategy a bit here, not wanting to give that Karma over to Betsy in the mid lane or Ryze on the bottom side of the map.
And clearly they respect Werlip here and his upgraded version of a Jax, which is the Fiora, and ban it away. And look at this, Jax is open. In case he wants to play it, Shen is also available. I'm sure Werlip will just take the Shen if it is possible for Fnatic. Technically right now,
Trundle's also available. There's a lot of picks up and open.
Trundle is another special, obviously for Werlip. It's a pick he used a lot in the past, so I like to see that early pick. I think this is smart by ROCCAT. Also because you can flex it, and again you take it away from Fnatic, who likes to play it in both roles. So I think this is a smart choice from ROCCAT, but Shen is still available. Fnatic can take it. Yes, it will be Trundle against the Shen, which can be annoying for Shen, but he's just so good with that secondary global. This is a pick, by the way, Werlip has been using a lot in solo queue, which is why he's probably hovering it now for all his fans. The Akali top lane. I actually saw him tweet as well after he saw the lane swap changes. There was time to bring out the Akali top lane some more because you get more one-on-ones. He's not going to pick it yet.
No, but you can see Spirit hovering through the junglers. He knows what's open and available to him. He knows that most of the pool is there. The question is, what are Fnatic going to do with that second pick? That Akali, we can be pretty sure is going to be a Shen. Still a Ninja, different Ninja.
I like Sivir here. I think Sivir is a great early rotation pick. Braum is a very safe support choice as well for early rotations. There's a lot of good options. So I think it makes sense almost no matter which one Fnatic picks of Braum and Sivir and so on. Only problem is that Trundle does have a good matchup in lane against the Braum, but honestly, it's not that impactful.
So this, honestly, looking at this, I'm really skeptical from Fnatic, because Gragas I do not think needed to be the priority here for Spirit. Shows clearly valuing that comfort pick for Spirit over the Sivir. Potentially is an insanely powerful pick, and additionally, locking in the support early. I mean, you've still got the flexibility to move that Trundle. They could just take a Shen here and put the Trundle in the bottom lane and be fine.
Yeah, definitely, because again, Trundle has the good matchup into Braum, so that's where ROCCAT can get some advantages, but clearly Fnatic doesn't think it's that impactful. So like, okay, we're in a slightly worse matchup for Braum against Trundle, we don't really care, can still get the Shen. I would prefer Elise here and not Rek'Sai, and I would see ROCCAT play strong lanes with like Trundle against Braum, with Elise early against Gragas, and like try and really snowball the early game. But instead, ROCCAT are okay with the Rek'Sai matchup, despite this being a good matchup for Gragas in almost every situation.
And we've seen really what Spirit can do when he's given the opportunity to just run wild through these games. Now, Memento did have some solid plays on that Rek'Sai, knew where to be in team fights, and it was a decent pick, but it wasn't amazing, right?
You don't win the game by picking Rek'Sai, ever. Rek'Sai is never the pick that wins you the game. A jungler like Nidalee can win you the game. A jungler like Elise can completely take over the early game with some good early ganks. It's not often. Obviously, it will win you the game, but Rek'Sai will never ever win you the game.
Bold statement. But
it's a solid pick, sure.
Yeah, but nothing, you know, you talked about this before, nothing spectacular. Now, a big shift here coming in for Fnatic. They saw what Steelback did on the Jhin last time. They're going to take a shot at it this time around, matching it up against the Lucian from Steelback. Now, Lucian, a pick that declined in popularity for a little while after the nerfs, but has been making a bit of a resurgence. Still as much of a lane bully as ever.
Saving the Jax last pick for Werlip. Getting that Victor blind pick here. I want to see where the Trundle is going. I want to see new Ryze. Please lock it in. People used to pick Ryze against Victor quite a lot, but now it is, of course, a very different champion. High chance we get something like a Swain or Cassiopeia instead for Betsy, and he tries to win the mid lane. LeBlanc is another one. Fits the mold as well. Try and win that mid lane and get pressure to the side lanes.
Where are we going to go?
Because you can go 1-3-1 again as ROCCAT, where you have strong 2v2 lane with Lucian Trundle, and you get split pushes and Shen, and then whichever mid lane pick you opt into.
Oh yeah! New Ryze! It's going to happen. I'm going to have to learn what he does on the fly because his kit is insanely confusing, but there's going to be teleports.
It is actually a very simple kit, honestly, once you get used to it. First of all, you don't have to care about the ulti, the first rank.
That's true.
Because the range is so short on it, like the first rank. It's kind of weird to use. Also, the fact you can only skill it up twice, is kind of odd with the new Ryze. But let's talk about him in-game. This is super interesting. But again, keep in mind, ROCCAT right now are technically just playing for seeding. They are locked down in the promotion tournament, so I think it's great they're trying it out. And we have Werlip, so of course you gotta hover Jax and probably even pick it when Werlip is here. Jax becomes a topic.
Oh, the Whirly Bee. What is he going to be able to do? Is it going to be the Jax?
I mean, he could also just gnar again.
Let's wait. I mean, let's talk ROCCAT for a brief moment. This composition looks like that 1-3-1 we talk about so much.
Yes.
You got two strong side lanes. You got that infinitely mobile Ryze. And now you got a Gangplank on the side of Fnatic. That is a significantly less Warlib pick than I was expecting. But Gangplank versus Shen, a matchup that's been considered Gangplank favored in other regions.
I mean, one of the reasons GP came back into the meta was because he was good into Shen up in top lane. Not necessarily killing the Shen straight away, but more the fact you get a lot of farm. And you still need a lot of items on GP to be useful. But it is now more the armor penetration build, or early armor penetration, like Trinity Force into Ghostblade, is what we see on GP. So Fnatic, very stable standard meta comp, I feel, in many ways. Maybe a little bit outdated here and there with like the Victor pick still and the Jhin, but I think they're still solid. I'm a little bit surprised we don't get a Sivir pick at all in this series. I think Sivir is such a good AD carry, but of course if you are Fnatic, you didn't want to pick Sivir against Trundle support because Trundle counters Sivir. You just put the pillar behind her, she's not going anywhere. So it makes a lot of sense on the side of Fnatic. And I just want to see the new Ryze. It's still like a 1-3-1 composition from ROCCAT because Ryze still have a lot of single target DPS. He needs that rank 2 ulti though before he gets some proper range on it to really have an impact with it. But this is going to be interesting. 5-man AoE teleports.
Absolutely excited to see it, guys. Of course, last chance in this series to hop onto Twitter. Hashtag ROC win or hashtag FNC win, depending on where your loyalties lie. Now, looking at these compositions again, Deficio, it looks like ROCCAT want to be up in your face all the time if they ever want a team fight. But on the opposite side, Fnatic just seems so good at running away. You've got Victor, great defensive champion. Gangplank, great zone control. Braum, good disengage. And Reckless on that Jhin. He's never going to want to, be up in the face of battle. He's happy to sit in the back lines.
Definitely so. I mean, it is a pure team fighting comp from Fnatic. Everything signals team fighting on the side of Fnatic, where ROCCAT is, again, the split pushing composition like they tried to do in the last game, failed to execute because they fell so far behind in the early game. And we are almost in game. Almost. In 1 minute.
Start the rain dance, Deficio.
Let's not have any problems here. All the players are reconnecting to the game. We just want to show you the players one more time to build up player brands. Here you have Fnatic. In case you want to be.
If you haven't heard of them, new rising team.
Whoa. A little bit of DJing going on here.
Keeping it fresh there in the production truck.
I like it. We should have it for everything.
I just want dramatic echo of my voice anytime I say anything. Team's looking fresh.
Hey, the player cam is back.
Yeah, Fevin, once again.
Probably
never heard of this guy or this one. I mean, relatively unknown names here in Europe,
A rookie.
Yeah,
clearly.
rookie.
Well, they've also been around for quite some time. We talk about stage experience. We're obviously not meaning playing on stage just for Whirlip because he's done that before.
It's true. And I mean,
it's playing with Fnatic on stage, which is very different because players are very different from scrims to on-stage performance and how much they talk. Do they tilt on stage? A lot of things you got to get used to compared to just sitting and playing scrims at home in your gaming house. And we are back.
Yeah, you can hear. Or can't hear me talking. And that's because I'm staring at the screen. Getting ready for game 2. They haven't left the base yet.
They're running.
But they're gonna. Ladies and gentlemen, we are safely away and into game 2 here.
What is wrong with Ryze and the way he's running?
No, he's dabbing. Didn't you see the Reddit thread? Dab, dab, dab. He's so stylish and so ready to style on people.
He has great style in the way he's running. It must be super healthy for him. There we go. He's dancing.
Oh my god. Did Betsy just serve us? Did we just get served?
I think we did. We got new Ryze in action.
I forgot about the new model too. This is going to be...
Yeah, I completely forgot about the new model. But if you have never seen new Ryze, he's not actually used that much in solo queue right now. He's a pretty terrible win rate. But interesting things. Ulti, obviously, they're teleport basically.
Yeah,
which has very short range in the early game, but it is an AoE, and you can actually use it. You can activate it, and then your team can run into it, and you TP away with them, short distance in the start, and then everything else is loaded towards his QWE at this point, where basically now you can't do the perma route that you used to do, because you don't reset cooldown on W anymore. You only reset cooldown on your Q. E has very low cooldown, just normally. So basically, if you want to do maximum DPS rotation, you go something like E, Q, W, Q, E, Q, and you just keep going like that. If you want a shield and movement speed, you gotta do E, W, and then Q after, so you get 2 of these stacks on yourself to get more mobility. And also when you want to clear these waves, you just get the E down, you start hitting it with Q, you spread around this spell flux.
If you E, it applies a buff known as spell flux, which modifies your further spells. If you E again, it reapplies spell flux to all enemies in the area. So, I think of it similar to a brand and how you want those interactions to work. A lot about getting that spell flux going before using those abilities. But of course, overall, new Ryze, something we're going to have to keep our eyes on both in terms of build path, in terms of execution here in the mid game, because that ultimate, in theory, very powerful. But when we talked about Ryze before, we were wondering how teams were actually going to be able to utilize it.
So build path is very much the same as before. It's still tier into Rod of Ages, because you still scale a lot with mana, just like before. So that hasn't really changed too much. He's just less perma-root. I can never escape when you have your passive and ulti ready. And more just like straight up damage coming from like his Q as the skill shot. More sustained DPS that way. Doesn't rely too much on his passive like he used to do. So one thing you can do as well on him is you EW, so your root is a 2-second root now, and then you Q right after. It's not as high damage, but it keeps the guy in check. And then actually it's pretty easy to set up a gank them with a 2-second root. That is point and click. It's really hard to mess it up. So there are definitely some utility tools from new Ryze, but you always got to pick between CC and utility for yourself or straight up damage. Because if you obviously use your E first, the spell flux, and you then Q after, you also deal way more damage with the Q. So once you get rank 5 on your E and your max rank on Q, and you get 100% extra damage whenever you hit someone with your Q after applying spell flux, it's a lot of single target damage. Like, it's actually crazy damage in the late game. But the problem is you get kited around because you gotta then suddenly opt into getting more mobility, you lose out on some damage, and then you don't deal as much damage as you want to because you didn't want to run. So it is fairly difficult to figure out how to play Ryze at the moment.
I feel like the end result is very similar overall, but the buttons you have to press and the execution is so different on this new patch. Of course, guys, we are in that lane swap. We did see ROCCAT take down a turret. Fnatic, however, did not, potentially costing them a lot.
And wait, how did they mess up taking down the tower?
See, we had the lane swap cam, but we were much more interested in the Ryze cam.
Yes. I want to talk about Ryze, not lane swaps. Ryze is here next patch. Lane
swap Yellow Star taunted up, getting blocked out there. The stun going to land down onto Prang, snared up as well, but Memento is behind them. Reckless caught out. Fnatic going to give up first blood. Yellow Star potentially next. 2 kills set to go over to ROCCAT. A great bait. Spirit on the way in, though. He's going to grab one back.
Gwelip is level 2 Gangplank. He's behind ROCCAT at the moment. Ryze is coming around as well. No. 2-second snare. No, he goes for the damage.
Flash. That's so much damage. Is the flash even going to be worth it? No. Betsy picks up a kill.
And that's where you see the combo again. Betsy, spell flux, straight into a ton of damage from overload. Then he snares after. Then he overloads again. Because every time you use E or W on Ryze, you reset cooldown on your Q, so you can keep spamming away. Went for the full damage combo, and Willip didn't even flash over the wall when he saw the Ryze. Sloppy start from Fnatic. Messing up lane swap, then getting caught on the bottom lane because you have no tower behind you, not respecting the fact that ROCCAT can be here. And then look at the TP from Whirlit. Cancel it, man. Your team is dying. You're done. It's 4.5 seconds. He appears behind all of ROCCAT. Yes, okay, Spirit gets a kill, but now your GP is caught. And at this point, as soon as you see Ryze here in front of you, you just flash the wall and you walk to Spirit. Like, just flash here, walk to Spirit. Full DPS combo. E, Q, W, Q from Betsy, and Willip dies.
Yeah, and what's insane is that I thought Whirlib, with all that free time on the top side, may be able to get an advantage, but comes to the bottom lane instead, trying to swap around, trying to back up his team. Of course, this is why Fnatic want to give him that stage experience. He is absolutely suffering here in the early game. Some very poor decision-making, and ROCCAT now with a 2K gold lead. They may not be in contention for making it out of relegation anymore. They may be guaranteed for that relegation, but they can still play for seeding. And they can definitely play to improve here because so far things look very good for them.
Yeah, and I like this build from Memento in this game after he gets 2 early kills. Last game he went Cinderhulk and Sidestone. This game is like, oh, I got 2 early kills straight into Tiamat. And you just go for power farming Rek'Sai, much stronger dueling in the early game with this item as well. You keep it on Tiamat, and then you start building your normal build now, and just use it to power farm a little bit more. But yeah, Betsy showing the combo on Ryze before, and also at the same time, we get to see this double spell flux on minions in the mid lane and how you can spread it out when you hit the second one and then Q after to clear it out. So it is good fast pushing on Ryze. It's not really considered consistent wave clear though. If you siege on Ryze, he's not able to wave clear properly. Another combo from Betsy. It's very strong 1v1.
So much damage. Of course, has the Negatron Cloak as well, really limiting Febiven's ability to respond here. Of course, the changes to the cost on that first Hex Core upgrade also make it more difficult for Febiven to really purchase out on that early itemization. Still needs that Death Ray early upgraded. Just has to lose more gold to get it there. Now, ROCCAT picking up the Dragon as well. Bonus AD and AP, so good when you have a team with the Ryze and Illusion on it. Of course, not going to be relevant as much for the Shen, but Rek'Sai with that Tiamat, happy to have the benefits as well.
I love watching Ryze clear out the wave though. Double spell flux, super low cooldown. Stack it on all the minions, then Q right after, and you spread it to all the minions again, and you deal damage to all of them. And then you just follow up with another spell flux, and they're dead. So very easy for Betsy to push it out. As we said, he's very strong 1v1. Once we get into team fights, however, you're going to see a Ryze that will struggle to consistently deal DPS, because he has to pick between, as I said, utility or damage, and he can get kited very easily, which is why Betsy's running Ghost in this game. It's definitely going to help him a lot.
Well, and additionally, we look at this. This is something discussed when Ryze came out, how low impact the first rank of Ultimate can be, and Betsy hasn't even taken a point in it, instead opting for a 4th point in that Overload. You talk about how much damage that Q can do, and it looks like we're going to have to see when he actually puts points into that Ultimate.
Yeah, I think he's correct here. I think that ulti is so weak at rank 1, and when all he cares about is being able to one-on-one people, he doesn't need that AoE TP at all. So for him just getting more DPS is definitely smart. I quite like it. I want to see if he goes Rod of Ages, or if he's actually just building straight towards like something like Abyssal at this point. And he wants like the MR against the Gragas, against the Victor.
Nope.
In this game. No, there it is. So
Catalyst coming out.
He just delays it. It would have been very surprising if it didn't build Rod of Ages. He just delayed it to get more power now. So ROCCAT is very much building for early game. Like Tiamat Rek'Sai, early MR on the Ryze to be stronger in the one-on-one against the Victor. A lot of what ROCCAT is doing is trying to really snowball this advantage they have. They even traded top tower for Dragon, which you can always argue, you know, is that worth it? But the tower was fairly low from fun. This is what we mentioned before here. Ryze needs a bit of time before he clears the wave. So if you are sieging on a tower, he's not that strong at clearing it out. But if you leave him in the lane to meet the wave early, he can kill it so quickly.
Yeah, and we look at Reckless in the mid lane, though. He is only level 5 trying to push in here. Betsy on that level 8 does an immense amount of damage. And as you said, building the way they are because they are ahead, that Rek'Sai hurts. Cannot afford to get caught out at all. Red buff Tiamat, so easy to burn through that health bar.
Yeah, you can see Betsy like spellflux onto Reckless and just flash W him for 2 seconds now, and then Memento shows up. Even in 2v3, and they're gonna kill Reckless. Like super easily. Ryze has enough single target damage to kill him, and a 2-second root is very strong early on.
I think we have to consider Yellowstar, of course, can block some of that damage, but it's not a Tahm Kench. You don't have that, that get out of jail free card at any moment. Much more risky.
So as long as ROCCAT can keep Fnatic spread out on the map, Ryze can be strong 1v1. Lucian is one of the best AD carries at sitting in a side lane because he's so mobile and he's so good in skirmishes as well. Where Jhin is not. Jhin is very much the guy who wants to sit in mid and like long range poke on you. He doesn't want to sit in side lanes. Low mobility champion. Not that great in a pure 1v1 compared to Lucian. So ROCCAT have 2 winning lanes now. Mid lane and the bottom lane where Steelback is sitting, meaning they can push in the lane as you see now and just rotate to mid lane. And Fnatic has to take a longer route. Look at your minimap. The route Febiven is taking around to try and defend always allows ROCCAT to get some damage on tower, zone them off towers as well potentially, like they were just trying to do here. And ROCCAT right now are really showing, when you have 2 winning lanes, how you can just play the map. And it's all about pushing lanes first, and then you rotate between the lanes.
Now, of course, that's going to cost Warlord that ultimate in the end, as he does have to use the Cannon Barrage to clear out the waves, trying to buy a little bit of time. But ROCCAT, this advantage hasn't gone anywhere. Still able to continue pushing, have that channel when they want it. Parang holding his own in this laning phase, of course. Massive CS advantage in favor of the Shen, but really just a matter of time for that Gangplank as he continues to scale up. Have to wonder what the next step is for ROCCAT. They've got this advantage. What are they going to turn it into? And, well, for Memento right now, that means a Titanic Hydra. Not holding on Tiamat. Just wants to go straight for that additional damage.
I don't think you have to straight away, but they're going for
Febiven. Febiven potentially caught out. In comes Shen. In goes the Shadow Dash, but the cleanse comes in overall. Nice block out. Yellowstar saves the day. Parang 3 stacks in the concussive blows. Yellowstar maybe looking to make it 4.
Very important save here from Yellowstar, keeping Febiven alive, so he has a chance now to return to the mid lane. ROCCAT still around. Oh, can he interrupt him? Nope. Didn't actually get to see him, I think. But this tower is still going to take some damage. And right now, ROCCAT all very, very strong across the board. Everyone from
on the bottom side.
Too weak on the side of Fnatic to do anything with Victor, GP. They all want to scale up. And ROCCAT want to fight now.
2K lead for ROCCAT. They're looking to make it even bigger. They've got the Infernal Drake, and they're going to grab that mid lane tower.
Victory music already. We are earlier calling it.
I mean, production. I know ROCCAT have been struggling, but every time they get a tower, we don't need to. we don't need to like play victory music.
Well, they got a tower, Sifa.
They got a tower,
and it's been actually a good game from ROCCAT so far.
Absolutely. And the big question for me is how are they going to play around this next dragon? This is
well, I mean, it's very simple. You push on bot lane with Lucian and Trundle, all the way to enemy tier 2 tower. Then you walk down and you take the dragon for free. There you go. Congratulations. It's your dragon. And Werlip right now is struggling on the gangplank. Daylor is struggling to smile as well.
Not looking to boost that 30%. Wants it as low as possible for the coach stats coming out soon.
I think the 30% was a little bit of an overstatement, honestly. You might have to check with our stats people.
Yeah, what the actual percentage is at.
Alright, so if you are Fnatic at the moment, you're technically just trying to buy a bit of time because you need to scale on so many champions. Gragas, Gangplank, Victor,
at the same time,
so much scaling instead of having any sort of power right now. You cannot stop. Oh, Memento even gets the blue buff. Why not?
Now he doesn't have Smite for another short period of time.
But if Fnatic wants to fight for this dragon, ROCCAT is going to be like, thank you very much, let's take the fight. You know, you are much stronger right now.
That's my question for you. They have so much AoE damage between the Gangplank and the Victor. Do you think there's any way for Fnatic really to win a fight here?
So there is definitely a way to win a fight. It's just a very high-risk fight for Fnatic to take. So therefore, it's really hard for him to do anything. Look at this. Steelbike pushing out the lane. You can see Reckless has to surrender the wave every time and step back and let Steelbike push it first. And then Dragon is yours, meaning the smite didn't matter. It's also back up. Again, it's very classic play here from ROCCAT. When you're winning both lanes. And the crowd is mainly Fnatic fans. So right now they are not too happy.
Yeah, double Infernal Drake and a 3k gold advantage. Not what Fnatic wants to see, not what their fans want to see.
But do not blame the casters. We have not done anything. Do not rush to the caster desk and assault us.
You have really weird fears recently, Deficio. Like, no one has ever remotely gotten violent or mean with us in a studio, and you're like, please don't hurt me.
You don't know, man. You don't know.
3k gold lead, double Infernal Dragons, Fnatic waiting, farming. The pressure now is on ROCCAT to make a move. They have the advantage. The only everything that is in front of them.
I mean, just keep moving still back to side lanes and push in that lane and take whichever tower is there. Once you have the last tier 1 tower down, you play for tier 2 and you do exactly the same. And then in 10 minutes time, you play around Baron. So like for the next 15 to 16 minutes, ROCCAT should be stronger. And should be able to take down outer turrets, should be able to set up a Baron with this goal lead, with this advantage in terms of champions. And as long as they can execute properly, they will put Fnatic in the dumpster.
Well, as Betsy approaches level 11, you're going to notice that he did put up that first point into Realm Warp. He's going to put a second one in as he hits level 11. So right on time to get that improved version of the ult. Going to have to see what he can do with that mobility. So far, ROCCAT continuing to take these small advantages, pushing in on the top side. Cannon Barrage is going to clear out these creeps, or at least one wave of them, but ROCCAT honestly are not concerned. Still going to be able to burn through the tower in the end, so Werlip just grab and farm with that ultimate.
And they're pretty far ahead now in the push, so they can go for another one and challenge Fnatic, maybe even for inhib turrets. Parang is sitting in the bottom lane right now. He's not able to do anything with the wave, and Fnatic are really far behind in this push. Look at the top lane here. ROCCAT already at the tower, halfway down. They're going to get another tower, and simply Fnatic too slow, reacting.
Yeah, not at all what they want. Werlip firing some shots off here, just trying to pick up some farm, apply some pressure. And now ROCCAT are moving in on the mid lane, and things look really good for this lineup. Rift Herald next in their eyes. It's already so difficult for Werlip to farm comfortably, and if you imagine giving that over to Shen, the question is who...
It won't be Shen, no. I actually think you can give this to Steelback, because he's playing side lane, but they're probably going to give it to Memento. Still has some value for the jungler, but could make a case for the other one. just because Steelback is playing sideline, but he's not playing alone, obviously. So not the greatest, but yeah, Fnatic really been put down, or put behind. One thing is the lineup of champions. Another thing is the fact they messed up lane swap. Didn't get top tower down. Then they got ganked in the bottom lane. When they had no tower behind. Didn't respect the fact that the enemy team could be multiple members. And Warlip TP'd in. And also died. Didn't even flash. I'm like, what?
I think those small fumbles, though, we have to wonder if those are going to improve as Warlip gets more experience with the team. As you said, they mostly are... Fnatic know they're in playoffs. But
sure,
at this point they're playing for seeding, and they need to play to be ready for those playoffs. So giving these younger players a chance, maybe not younger players, giving these newer players to the lineup,
yes,
more chance to play with the team, maybe a good opportunity.
You call him young, it's fine. No one is going to be offended.
Is he young? I don't remember how old.
I don't know, my guess is probably 20. It's kind of my average guess for most of the players.
Looked at all the ages of players and guessed a number in the middle.
Yeah, pretty much. I think like 19, 20 is the average age of a EU LCS player.
Yeah, but he's 18.
Oh, he's 18.
Yeah.
Well, I was wrong.
August 14th, 1997.
Damn, he's that young?
I'm not psychic. I just have a voice in my head that tells me these things.
You should probably go and get that checked out.
Spirit clearing out some vision. Fnatic not looking quite as scared as they once did, although they may have to be a little bit more careful.
I mean, ROCCAT needs to be a little bit more proactive here.
Yep.
Pushing that bot lane to the tier 2 tower, all the way to that tower, and then put pressure on tower / being able to put pressure on mid tower, and take over this enemy jungle now, like they do now. Eat the wards. That's what I like about Trundle.
Gets to eat the wards.
Yeah, he's a bit like a stupid dog, you know, just bites and everything. There's a ward right there. Up. It's my shoe. It's down. It's gone. Trundle will probably eat your shoe. You don't think so?
No. I mean, maybe. I'm just like trying to remember the Trundle lore. I'm like, Lord of the Troll Kings, eater of shoes. I think it's definitely there. Like, second line for sure. Would definitely eat your shoe.
I mean, this is why I should write the League of Legends lore, right? I mean, it all makes sense. What Trundle likes to do. Maybe he's a potato farmer. Who knows?
The potatoes have been a thing for you recently.
It has. It's been a thing for me all life because I'm Danish. You know, not only do we have a ton of potatoes, we also speak like we have a potato in our mouth. So it's actually always been a thing for me. I'm from a family where half of my family is from the farmer side of Denmark. It's always been eating a lot of potatoes. What about you in Portland? What do you eat?
I mean, we eat potatoes too, but we don't really eat that much. I think that's our secret. It's just
you don't eat that much?
It's coffee and beer. Food is too expensive in Portland.
It's pretty sad, honestly. Coffee and beer. I actually read there was a guy who called you out because you couldn't...
Oh, yeah. He's like, the fact that he could not name his favorite craft brewery right off the bat means that he's dead. I'm actually no longer a Portlander, according to the Council of Portland has decided.
You are no longer allowed to have a beard.
Yeah, that's not going to happen, though.
Well,
I look like I'm like maybe 17 when I don't have a beard.
You should go for it, man.
I'm not going to go for it.
Look at ROCCAT as we talked
ROCCAT
about.
are going to go for this tower. And once again, Gangplank Ult comes in, tries to buy a little time, and it doesn't. Does not buy them anything in the end. ROCCAT backing off. Gold lead, staying around 4K at this point.
Don't get another Drake, though. And you cannot measure Drake's value in gold. You can apparently Shen ultimate, though. Oh, are they going to TP with Ryze? Camera, move!
Oh, moving in.
We missed the Ryze
forward.
TP.
Ryze ult did get used. The first instance of competitive, we will not see, however.
We missed it because we need
a replay. First Ryze ult in competitive. Where
Man,
at?
that was kind of crazy by ROCCAT. So basically, they were Ryze ulting and Shen ulting at the same time. Then they realized that Fnatic just ran away from it. Febin did use Flash, so I guess they got a Flash and a Cleanse.
And now they got an Ocean Drake as well.
Yeah, but we're not allowed to show the new Ryze ulti. Therefore, every time we will use it, we will cut away.
Yeah,
We will not show you the Ryze ulti. Like we didn't show you the first game of Fnatic and ROCCAT. This is actually game 3.
As we gear up in game 3, Memento is getting caught out. Curtain call coming in. Betsy, no interest in body blocking, although Spirit will make it difficult to land the shot. Fevin, on the other hand, no problem.
And the crowd goes wild. Yay. 1 kill. 1 kill for Fnatic.
You don't have to be so, pessimistic all the time. This 1 kill is going to lead to what looks like 1 tower.
Oh, it's gonna look. They're gonna look at the tower.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice little triple barrel, throwing down some damage. I was like, dang, that did a lot to Trundle. And then I remembered it's a support Trundle. Not quite as exciting.
No, now we want to see ROCCAT set up around Baron instead. Ooh, it's what we all like. It's like Christmas all over.
This is my favorite dance in the game League of Legends.
The Baron. We don't actually see Baron dances that often anymore. Back in the day, Sifa, you know, when you were still young and innocent, when I was casting with D-Man and Joe Miller, older and wiser men than you, we had Baron dances in Europe for like 15 minutes every single game, and you knew it every single time. This was the first use of Ryze TP straight
right into the gravity field.
Well, they got out of it, and they also only ported 2 members. Didn't actually even port Betsy with them.
Oh, I didn't even know you could. I thought Ryze.
Oh yeah, you channel it, and then you can step out of it, and then your teammates can still step into it and port.
Can you like surprise factor people? Like just throw it behind them to scare them?
Technically, well, I don't think you can interrupt it again. You mean just throw it up but not
like not
follow?
go in.
Yeah, you can do that.
Get tricky with it.
You don't have to follow.
Really?
But we've now seen Victor is a hard counter to Ryze's AoE teleport, because he just puts down his W.
Seems like a good strategy.
Definitely. So that's everything we have figured out in this game. This is what I like about being a caster, is you watch games, you learn stuff. Now I'll write this down, and every time I cast Victor Ryze the next 5 weeks, I can make my point. Except I won't see Victor, because no one really plays him anymore, except for Febvan, apparently.
Yeah, Nurse.
Also, no one plays Ryze, except for Betsy, so...
But on the off chance, I don't know, who knows? Ryze is one of those characters that I feel like is always strong. He's either completely unviable or insanely strong. And right now he's getting shot, so...
Well, so do you consider him now insanely strong or not viable?
Well, that's the thing is I don't know yet. But I think in Ryze's history...
So you just made a statement that you can't even back up.
No. I'm saying I don't have the knowledge right now. But look at the past 5 Ryze reworks.
Yeah.
He's either pick banned every game or he's not played, right?
Yeah.
And I think the issue is with this new Ryze, is this the final iteration where it's a little more balanced, a little bit like more off and on of a pick, a little bit more fringe pick, or is this going to be another instance where it's...
Well, it's much easier to balance a champion who doesn't play around having like perma roots within like certain moments in his kit when he gets like his passive proc. Because now you can just kind of damage his numbers, change his numbers, right? Does he deal too much damage? Nerf the numbers a little bit.
Oh, Yellowstar potentially is definitely caught out here. Smite goes down. Yellowstar going to get snared up, and the fight just continues. Tries to hop to safety. Chaos Storm going down, doing a little bit of damage back to ROCCAT, but with that pick off, they're going to lay down a bit more vision and set their sights on the Baron. Are they just going to go for it?
Well, again, you have the vision. You can start the Baron and not finish it, but just use it to force a team fight against Fnatic.
Oh, Spirit potentially caught out. Not looking good for him overall. Snared up. Damage comes in. Steelback going to grab another one. Jungler is dead. That is a 2-man advantage for Fnatic, or for ROCCAT rather, as they head towards the Baron.
And Fnatic are still trying to scale up on these champions here, but it's just too late for them. G-builds are coming down. Baron is going to take a ton of damage from the Ryze.
5k health and dropping.
It's 3v5 here. You got to commit now as ROCCAT. There's no jungler. Just finish the Baron, smite
what
it.
Are the options left? Health dropping lower. Laser not going to get in the end. ROCCAT are going to secure the Baron. Curtain call comes out. Parang taking 1 shot, 2. Third going to land. The fourth, the crit is going to land, but it's not enough damage. Snare not going to connect onto Betsy either. Fnatic walking away empty-handed. ROCCAT extending that gold lead to 6k, as well as grabbing that Baron.
And Fnatic gets a mid tower. Go Fnatic. That's what they get. Nothing else in this game. Honestly, been a poor performance from Fnatic, and a great game from ROCCAT so far. I like this setup. Catching out Yellowstar with the Titanic Hydra Rek'Sai. Picks up an easy kill, and then goes back to baiting Baron, picks up another kill, and then starts the Baron. It's a very patient play. It's clearly something ROCCAT has been practicing quite a lot, but just not often they get to be in this position where they actually win the early game.
And Spirit just a little bit overeager here.
Yeah, I mean, he needs to step forward to potentially check if Baron is being started.
Ooh, but just really a great pillar coming in there from Ryze to block that option out to him. And, of course, excellent confidence from ROCCAT coming in. That was a guaranteed Baron, just about, and they did not hesitate for one moment to take it.
Betsy's been on fire, despite being 1-0-1.
Yeah, making plays.
Definitely making plays. Overall, I think Fnatic, again with their draft, is too passive of a draft. I don't like this combination of Victor, Gragas, GP. Like, all 3 are scaling champions. Especially with their Victor nerfs as well, where it's even harder to get the first hex score. And now they're going in.
Oh, potentially caught out. That's the 3-man knockup. In comes the Shen. Where's the taunt gonna go? Parang blocking out the damage. Twilight's Refuge, Spirit's Refuge rather, blocking that out for him in the end. Second tower now set to fall. Gangplank ulti comes in. Fnatic throwing back a bit of poke of their own. In comes the curtain call. Ryze in trouble. Parang in trouble. Blocking out that shot. Is not going to connect with the fourth one onto Parang. Shooting it instead onto Memento. Just buying time for themselves. ROCCAT getting aggressive, but I don't really know if that worked out for them in the end. Not even able to clear the towers. Fnatic put on a daring defense here.
Yeah, they get to defend for now, but Dragon is alive. Betsy can just push in this wave and go take the Dragon if he wants to. I suggest ROCCAT just takes the easy Dragon after getting mid tower down, and then sit on 4 Dragons. I actually wonder if some teams sometimes delay taking the 4th Dragon to have the next one be Elder Drake. If you have a big advantage... Oh, they're going in again, Sifa.
Oh, maybe looking for the fight here. Suddenly pop. Down goes Steelback. Yellowstar in trouble now. ROCCAT, are they going to stop fighting or are they going to dig for more? There goes the snare. Flashed out from Yellowstar. ROCCAT are moving in and they're going to be looking to break the inhibitor here. Fnatic running out of options quickly. ROCCAT taking down their first inhibitor and another confident engage as Reckless gets caught out.
And ROCCAT is able to get everything now. So my point is before here. Okay. So, if you know you have a big goal lead, if you know in the next 5 to 6 minutes, you're also going to have that big advantage. Do you think it would ever be worth it to try and delay taking that 4th Dragon so the next Dragon will be Elder Drake? So you don't have to wait like the 4-6 minutes for then another Drake to spawn to then wait for the Elder Drake to spawn?
I see what you mean. Waiting till the 30 or the 29-minute mark rather to guarantee the Elder Drake spawn. As we see this fight one more time. Another just insanely confident engage coming in from Memento, the rest of the team. Rinsing and repeating on these Shen Rek'Sai opportunities. And, of course, Betsy consistently providing the CC to make it easy for them as well.
Yeah, in this case, if you're ROCCAT, though, just take the Dragon. You have a massive lead. You want to use it now. It's a Mountain Drake. Use it to take down the rest of the base.
5 Dragons here.
And this is going to be...
And then an Elder Dragon, potentially.
Exactly, but then it's obviously going to be very delayed Elder Drake coming. And by then, the game is most likely over, unless Fnatic are able to defend and come back. But, like, you're 30 minutes into the game, and Febiven is sitting on just 2 items, not even a fully upgraded Hex Core. He has no gold at all. Only been earning 9,000 gold on this Victor. About the same as Spirit on the Gragas. Very close to each other, so he's super underfarmed in this game, and he's against a Ryze on 12,000 gold now, who has 3 items fully completed.
Yeah, Spirit throwing out these casts, just trying to deter ROCCAT at least a little bit before they can clear out all this vision. It's not going to stop them whatsoever. ROCCAT push up this line of scrimmage, continuing to get more aggressive, and Fnatic.
And it's all about finishing now if you're ROCCAT. This is the practice you need before promotion tournament. If you can take down Fnatic, surely you can take down some of the challenger teams as well, but very, very different setting. In fact, we're testing things with Whirlip. It did not work out so far. Whirlip has honestly been almost invisible in this game, except for that one bad play in the bottom lane. So I guess that's one thing on your resume. What did I do this game? Oh, I messed up. And then I did nothing for the next 30 minutes. But he's also on a Gangplank.
Yep, he's got the Youmu's now as well.
It's hard to have an impact
Realm
on
Warp in.
GP was behind.
Oh, GP throwing down the Cannon Barrage. Betsy taking a lot of damage. Ulti coming in from Yellowstar is going to get the knock-up onto 1. ROCCAT, have they overextended? Shen going in on the back of Memento. GA still up and available. He goes down, but Parang is now in the front lines. Taking a lot of damage from that tower. Memento locked up. Memento burned down. Fnatic with the hold. ROCCAT have to back off here as Whirlip is back to clearing out the creeps.
Holding.
Good hold coming in from Fnatic in the end. Do not give anything up past that mid lane inhibitor from earlier.
No, tower's low. But I think if you're ROCCAT, you wait for that Baron now to spawn, and you get the same setup we had earlier where they're setting up in the jungle. They have 4 pink wards already placed, so they don't even have to set up the Baron, honestly. It's already ready, unless Fnatic can find the pink ward.
And you can see them responding now. They know they need this Baron vision. Multiple members moving in.
He just ran past the ward. He's like, I don't care.
I need this wave.
Classic mid laners.
It's not a blue buff. They're not interested in going into the jungle.
Oh, he got it now. He got it. He just wanted the top wave. It's fine.
All right,
second TP used, and it was straight into mid lane, and then they got caught out and died. So twice have we seen Betsy use his ulti, and twice it's kind of gone wrong.
Shen ult comes in, but at the end of the day, not going to mean too much. Of course, Parang tanks up what damage he can, but Memento, caught between a rock and a hard place here, just gets crushed out. 28 seconds till that Baron spawns. ROCCAT have the vision set up. Whirlip doing what he can with the barrels and the blue trinkets.
Oh, we're just waiting for it, Sifa. We're just waiting for the Baron setup. This will decide the entire game.
Memento with a level advantage as well. It makes it even harder on Spirit if he wants to go for the steal.
Yeah. And remember, in Europe, we see a lot of Baron steals because our junglers apparently cannot smite. Or our teams.
But our 80 carries.
Our 80 carries are very good.
Can definitely steal.
And Jin can steal with
that fourth shot.
In the end, they're starting it. Oh, this is exciting. This is it. Can Spirit steal
dropping
the dragon?
Betsy,
the Baron.
Trying to buy time. Team trying to zone away.
Oh, remember, we're in Europe.
Oh, Spirit all alone. Dashing out. Body slam used. ROCCAT now looking for the re-engage. Baron heals up as they back off.
Smart by ROCCAT, though. They understand when they start the Baron, if Fnatic moves close, you just go for the fight. You don't want to risk a 50-50. You take the fight instead. GP ulti was not used before, so this is suddenly getting a bit tricky if you are ROCCAT.
Unbreakable from Yellowstar, really the only cooldown used.
Oh,
Whirlip fighting out.
Whirlip needs to ulti towards the Baron, though.
Oh, Shen ult coming in. They're moving for more. ROCCAT, they're set to win the team fight, but Reckless is on the backside. Curtain call coming in. Betsy, though, nearly unstoppable as he runs through. Realm Warp comes in. Ryze delivering himself to the back line. Fnatic in the pinch. Parang on the backside. Can he get the taunt? Running forward. Yellowstar getting poked down. The rest of Fnatic running tail between their legs. Betsy now pushing up the mid lane, and Fnatic running out of options. Steal back with the dash forward.
And another great setup, Sifa. Again, ROCCAT not trying to take a 50-50 smite. They just disengage from Baron, take the fight. Whirlip lost a 1v1. He's 3 levels. Sorry, he's 1 level. I'm blind. I thought it was 13. He's 1 level down, but he lost the 1v1. And ROCCAT trying to finish.
Bit of damage coming in here. Gangplank clearing this out. ROCCAT overconfident in that push. Could have gone for the bottom tower. Now they're just going to have to back off.
Before Parang sets up the play, getting Whirlip low.
Fnatic fans loyal as ever. Happy to see their team hold despite the losses they've sustained as we look at that fight.
Yeah, so now Whirlip got chunked down before this even started. Has to TP in way later than Shen. One of the big things about Shen is how quick his ulti allows him to enter the fight compared to a 4.5 second teleport, which is actually very huge. And in the end, Fnatic couldn't even fight in the first place. They were just trying to stop a Baron. Didn't work for them. Lose inhib again. Steelback smacks his face into the wall. Classic move. Showing dominance before you take down the red buff.
Let the people know. You feel no pain.
I do not care about this wall. And my cooldowns, because you're Lucian.
Getting them all back. Has all that CDR.
See, this could have been Elder Drake now. If they waited just 1 minute. Use Elder Drake to finish the game.
But now...
Next level strategies.
6 more minutes. They're going to have Elder Drake with 5 stacks.
Yeah, you cannot complain about the Drakes if you're a ROCCAT in this game. Double Mountain, double Infernal, even an Ocean, just for the fun. And now, I mean, if you cannot win this game, then you're doomed.
Almost a 10k gold advantage. Baron has to be the center of attention. Betsy.
I love it.
That was gross.
E into actually last hitting with the Q also spreads it to the other minions.
Yeah, that was a sweet little animation to see, I'm not going to lie. Of course, Fnatic, though, they know very well what the next objective is. And it's Spirit, in this case, for ROCCAT, as they try to find yet another kill. Yellowstar, Unbreakable, trying to block this out. Is he going to be able to step back to the team? Does not look like it. One more pick for ROCCAT. We've seen this before. Can they rinse and repeat as they set their sights on the Baron?
So Spirit is still alive. We got to see how ROCCAT deals with him when he moves close. Whirlip is running without teleport. Baron is going down real quick. They got it. Don't worry. I mean,
health dropping. Spirit, no opportunity to steal that one away. ROCCAT with yet another Baron.
They had also Ryze sitting outside, ready to pillar onto the Gragas. So really good setup from ROCCAT, playing it very, very safe, but correct in almost every way. Now the base is open. You have Baron buff. You have Mountain Drakes, Infernal Drakes. Like, you need just a few hits on these towers and they're down, and you open up the base. Do not allow Fnatic to farm up. Do not allow Fnatic to get 4 items completed on their carries.
Have to be scared, though, on the side of Fnatic. A 10k gold advantage, and it continues to grow. This ROCCAT group in the side lanes. They're ready to take another inhibitor here. Fnatic have a lot of wave clear with the Baron buff backing them up, as well as the double Mountain Drakes. One misstep, and Fnatic could be out of the game in an instant.
They're kind of out of the game, you know, since the start of the game. with that poor start from them.
Haven't lost
yet. Hit the tower. Just hit the tower.
Cannon Barrage comes in, looking for a bit of disengage. Unbreakable from Yellow Star to buy more time. A lot of cooldowns burned, but the wave will be cleared. Fnatic buy a bit more time.
Well, this will always happen on the first wave. GP ulti is now down for the following fight or for the next wave. And then you start looking at Spirit. Is he in a position to engage? Well, he doesn't have a flash, so it's very hard for him to do anything. And that's where you can start hitting tower again and just ignore the rest of Fnatic. Tower is now down. You first force the cooldowns, then you take the objective.
Parang on the side, forcing them away from the tower. Inhibitor does drop. Slowly but surely, ROCCAT playing this one out. Clinical as they move forward. Are they going to look for the third inhibitor?
Jackpot.
This is it, the final fight. Fnatic, what options do they have? In they go. Memento looking to find his way into the backline, but he's the only one there. They're pushing forward. ROCCAT, they grab one of the base towers. Shen ult is coming in. Spirit isolated and left out with a block from Yellow Star to save the day. The fancy footwork trying to make it out. ROCCAT are so low. Whirlip up and available. Betsy is running through the back lines. My God, the damage as they push in. Double kill comes in for Steelback. ROCCAT going to tie the series up to 1-1. With an absolutely beautiful game.
Yeah, very well played by ROCCAT in this game. Still able to challenge for seeding down the bottom of the standings and be able to get a better seed heading into promotion tournament, which of course will be played next week. Already on Thursday, we have the first game between the number 10 seed in the LCS, or the number 10 place team in the LCS, and Millennium.